In today's online world, every woman needs a good headshot. And guess what? Our guest today can give you a beautiful one. Today we talk to Stephanie Selby Photography.
This is Charleston Women Podcast, where you can meet like-minded, strong, independent, professional, and inspiring local women. This is Charleston Women Podcast.
And today we would like to welcome Stephanie Selby of Stephanie Selby Photography to the Charleston Women Podcast. Stephanie, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Yes, I am excited to talk to you because I think, you know, in today's online world, we all need a professional photo. I'm sure you agree with that.
Right.
Let's just kind of dive right in because we have so many, business owners, all kinds of women listening. What kind of services do you provide?
So we provide headshots and personal branding.
Okay.
So headshots, and sometimes people don't really know the difference, but headshots are like where the main focus is you. And personal branding is more, tells a story about your brand as well as you and takes into account like location. It could be some lifestyle shots of like maybe you engaged in whatever type of work that you do. Mm-hmm. And what that basically does is gives the viewer a glimpse into your personality, what you offer. And like kind of like you're saying, in today's world, that makes a huge difference, right? You have to stand out from the competition. So the more someone can get to know you online, the more they start to know, like, and trust you, and then hopefully, move forward with the inquire button or send you a message or something like that. So we do like full luxury service because, I truly believe that these are very important images to your business, to your self-esteem, so you really want to put your best foot forward. So we do, everything from wardrobe styling to help you pick out the right outfits for your brand that are most flattering on camera, to professional hair and makeup, make sure you look your best and feel fabulous. We do, guided posing. So a lot of people struggle with that. So helping you to find those most flattering angles is key. And then we include master retouching. So, that could be whatever, wrinkles in my blazer, for me, I always tell people I have these under eye bags that
I get wrinkles on your face too. Do you do that?
Yeah. Okay, well, wrinkles on your face, under eye bags, those kind of things.
Yeah. So do women need both? Because I work in television too. And years ago, we all had the headshot. It was like the cheesy, arm cross, a lot of bankers, professional women all had like the same thing. So I think, as you mentioned, a lot of us imagine that when you say headshot. But the modern woman, do we need both? Do we need just the focus on you for the headshot and then the lifestyle imagery too for social media?
Well, I think it kind of depends on what you do. Yeah. Definitely if you own a business or, realtors for sure. Yeah. Anyone who's doing a lot of like social media marketing or whose business like really focuses on you. That's when the personal branding in particular becomes more important because we all have to keep up, with all the content, right? So
can you offer us some quick tips today? I know you said you have guided posing. I'm sure a lot of women listening are like, I am so awkward in front of the camera. I know I feel that way. I don't know what to do with my hands or my body, where to put things. So what would you say are just some beginner pro tips the next time any of us take a photo?
Sure. So, well, one key thing is that anything that is closer to the camera appears bigger and anything that's farther away appears smaller. So most women, will need to put their head towards the camera and their body's kind of back, making the body appear smaller and your head appear, not big, but bigger, and basically that just, slims you a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else to kind of like the lean in as you're taking?
Oh yeah. Lean in.
What do you do with your hands? That's my problem. I just like don't know where to put them.
Right. Yeah, that's a common problem. I mean, it depends on like what you're doing. But and I always try to figure out what feels most comfortable and natural to the person. Because, you know, one person doing one thing could feel great and the other person's like, no, this is awkward. So, you know, I mean, your hands, you know, sometimes you're going to do like this, or kind of just rest them beside you. I usually try to, you know, incorporate them somehow, but just make sure that they are relaxed.
Be part of the conversation surrounding Mount Pleasant. Sponsor the Mount Pleasant Podcast. Podcast marketing is the new, powerful way to brand your business and reach your customers. For more information, visit carolinapodcasts.com or call 843-345-7012.
You're listening to the Charleston Women Podcast.
You also do senior portraits or senior photos. Do you enjoy that? And I know, you know, we're talking as we approach fall, but is this something that kids should book now before graduation?
Yes. So I kind of see, I mean, a little bit, the senior sessions, like very similar to women's personal branding sessions. So we kind of do like model for a day. So we'll have the senior come in, she gets her hair and makeup done, or him if he wants to. And we'll go to various different locations. We'll do a number of different outfits. So seniors are really fun. You know, I try to get them to pick what's very meaningful to them, because this is like, you know, images that they and their family are going to look back on 20 years from now. And they're going to want to remember, you know, that, oh, Susie was totally into, you know, polka dots or whatever. So
yeah, Stephanie, mine were awful. I'm sure mine were god awful. I still remember it, like in my track uniform with like trophies around me. And now I see these glamour shots of these teens nowadays. I'm like, that's not fair.
I don't think I even did any, or if they were the, you know, the very portraity, like
awful.
You know, right. Oh no, they're totally different these days. We have so much fun. Yeah.
So what is your favorite thing to do with your business? Do you enjoy working with, you know, the women, the business women, the entrepreneurs, the teens? Do you love it all?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to decide. I love doing the headshot events that we do, which I never thought like that would be something that I would really enjoy. You know, initially I thought of those kind of basic headshots. I was like, that seems kind of boring. But you know, the more I've gotten to really be able to dive into people's personalities, get them relaxed in front of the camera, show them that they are beautiful, you know, and they can photograph well. So almost every client I get, at least for headshots, women will be like, I'm going to break your camera. Like, I am not photogenic, you know? And so I'm always like, I love a good challenge. That's not true. And I just love proving them wrong. I love them walking away with images that they love of themselves, you know, and we deserve that, you know, because a lot of these women have worked so hard to get where they are. They deserve good headshots where they feel proud to show those. And so, you know, that's been it's just so much fun. But also, I mean, the senior girls, I mean, I'm very girly, so those could definitely be a lot of fun.
I'm sure those are so fun. Yeah. You know what I think sometimes like we look at ourselves in the mirror and we see everything that's wrong with us, right? But then don't you look at those photos from 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and you're like, oh, I was so young, I was so skinny. So my takeaway is like, capture it now. Like, you're never going to feel perfect, but hire a pro like yourself and get it done. Get it done for your business. Just get it done for your, you know, self-esteem, your confidence.
Yeah, absolutely.
When is your next, or, you know, I know I'm sure you have them throughout the year, but you mentioned your headshot. Did you call it a workshop or a session? Do you have a bunch of people that come in?
It's a headshot event. So we typically do those about once a month. It just kind of depends on, you know, the demand and what else is going on in terms of like my family sessions and senior sessions and all that. But so we, you know, do it just in the studio, and whatever date we have, we'll book up about 8 spots. And so women, you know, will book their 2-hour time slot, you know, throughout the day. So they come in, we first do like a Zoom style and concept consultation where we help prepare them on what to wear, you know, what is your brand? How can we communicate that? And then they come in, they get their hair and makeup, come into, the studio, and we'll do a number of different backdrops, a number of different outfits. We have some fun music playing,
So fun.
and they get to see their images right then and there and choose the ones that they love the most.
I love it. So we should just maybe follow you on social media to see, when you schedule those to book our spot.
Yes. So you can follow me. I'm on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
It's Stephanie Selby Headshots. So I have a separate one for that, compared to like the family portraits. And
I need to follow you. I'm going to find it right now.
Oh yeah.
So great.
Yeah, come on.
Well, we all need new headshots, Stephanie.
Right. I know. I need new headshots. So,
how did you get into photography?
Oh gosh. So, well, it's kind of I don't know if it's a weird story, but when I was 30, I started a wardrobe styling business.
Now the dots are connecting.
Yeah, right.
That's why you're so good. It all goes together.
It all goes together. Yeah. I started it. It really didn't go so well. I didn't know what on earth I was doing in terms of like business. I thought, oh yeah, you just go, style people and that's it.
Sure.
Well, obviously there's a lot more that goes into any successful business, but I was like, I need to hire a photographer because I need to take pictures of the models and the clothes and all that stuff. And, at the time I looked and I was like, oh my gosh, they're expensive. So photographers are expensive. So I was like, well, you know what? I'm just going to do it myself.
Little DIY action.
Yeah. Which those definitely were not good images, but it did get me basically sidetracked. I just couldn't stop doing it. And then around that time I moved to Charleston. I was kind of going through a hard time in life. I wanted to start new and start fresh. And I came here and it's just so gorgeous, and I just was obsessed with taking pictures of typical things, the sunset, the downtown, all that stuff. And then I got a dog and she became my world and my subject in all the images. And so I was obsessed with that. And then I had kids and then they became the spotlight. And then people I was studying it on the side. So I was also at the time I was pursuing a career in counseling and therapy and all that. And I just couldn't stop with the photography. And then I had people asking me to do it for them. And so then it became like a side thing. And then it was just, I don't know. I can't ever really explain it. It's just I could not stop doing it. I still can't stop doing it, obviously. But
I love it. You're one of those girls whose side hustle became full-time real business. That's fantastic.
Right.
Love it.
Yeah.
What makes you different from other, photographers or portrait studios? What makes you unique, Stephanie?
Well, I think my background in therapy serves me well, in terms of just connecting with the client, understanding that everyone is different, kind of reading them, understanding a little bit deeper, who they are, and then capturing that. So that definitely is something different. I mean, everything we do is full service. I can't kind of do the come in, come out, let me just boom, boom, take a picture. So, our services are definitely, I haven't done a study, but we do a lot, comparatively in terms of the hair and makeup and the wardrobe styling. With the families, they're not just walking away with a bunch of digitals. I'm very passionate about people walking away with heirlooms,
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say, you print for them, these luxury prints, artwork pretty much of your photos, correct?
Right. So wall art. So I have two little boys and I just love to enjoy them, the images and look at them and remember, whatever time period that was and the love. But I just found that, during that period where I was taking so many photos of my kids, most of them were digital and they just kind of, I don't even know where they are now. I've tried to go back and look, so I definitely started printing my own, boys' portraits, but then, it became also this just a fun, important thing, I think, to do for clients so that they can really...
You can offer that too.
Yeah.
We talked about the headshots for women. We talked about the teens. You mentioned families. what do you have coming up for the holidays? Do you do any family portraits? Because I know we probably should be doing that pretty soon.
I know.
I can't call you like December 1st and expect it to happen.
Yeah, it's definitely a busy season for families. So most families kind of have it in their mind. They're going to get, the family portrait for the Christmas card. But then, what ends up happening is that we create beautiful portraits for like gifts for mom, gifts for grandma, or whatever. So there's a lot of just family sessions, that are on location. So that could be downtown or whatever the family, wants to do. And then I also have, which I haven't really announced it yet, but a little Santa experience. And so that's going to be fun for the kiddos. Yeah. I'm really excited. Yeah.
So this will be, I imagine the kids can go in and meet Santa and take some pictures.
Well, not only do they meet Santa, but they get to have milk and cookies with Santa. They get to read a story with Santa. Like it's a whole thing to where it's an experience for the kids.
My kids did it years ago. They're older now, but man, they loved it. Something like that. It was, it was Santa. They still have I think they left with like a jingle bell or something. Like that's wonderful. That will truly create memories of a lifetime. And that's a great gift too, right? If we have any, I don't know, grandmothers, aunts, anyone listening, you could buy someone a gift certificate for that experience, I imagine.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Stephanie, I have a weird question now that I love asking though, when I meet successful women like you. I'm fascinated learning about morning routines because I believe that it really kicks off the day. I'm an early riser, probably abnormally so, but I love hearing what other women do. So if you don't mind sharing, what's your morning routine? Are there any quirks in there? Any tips for success that the rest of us can take away from you?
Well, caffeine.
Amen. Yes.
Who goes right for the caffeine.
Yeah.
I get up early. I have to get up early if I want to get, anything done. And it's not like chaos as soon as you wake up with the little kiddos. So, I'll get up around 5 or 6 and get up and, sip my coffee, and then I'll do a little bit of exercise. I will read, inspirational books or, any kind of book that'll help me kind of get myself forward, because that's such a sacred time to me. I'm an early person too. So it's like quiet, my mind is focused, and I'll do a little bit of meditation and just like schedule out my day, make sure everything that needs to get done is going to get done.
Good for you. Sounds great. Final question. Any women listening who maybe they're interested in photography, or, they have a side hustle and they're interested in making that lifestyle switch where the side hustle can become the business. Do you have any bits of advice for them, or tips or tricks?
Education, get a mentor. Definitely you need to study the photography, but also the business end of things, because, there's a lot of people with that passion, but if you don't understand enough about business, it's not going to go too far. So getting that good education, somebody who inspires you is just so important. I've definitely invested in that a lot, and it's been a huge help.
All right, Stephanie, thank you so much for your time today. I know listeners can go to your website, or they can just search Stephanie Selby Photography. And again, you said you're on Instagram. Say your headshot handle is different. What is that again?
It's just Stephanie Selby Headshots.
Stephanie Selby Headshots. Anything else you would like to add before we go today?
No, I'm just so happy to be a part of this. I love, women and the professional aspect and just kind of supporting each other. So I love to connect and would love to hear from. It was a pleasure
connecting with you. You were so talented. Before I met you, I could see you were so talented, but it's great to, see the face and voice behind the brand. So thank you for your time, for joining us today. This has been the Charleston Women Podcast, and you've been listening with Stephanie Selby Photography.
Thanks for spending time with Charleston Women Podcast. Please like us and follow us on whatever platform you're using to access Charleston Women Podcast.